Good afternoon, everybody. Anthony Aniano here from RotoBaller Radio and rotoballer.com with your fantasy baseball Week 18 waiver wire. The week beginning Monday, July 22nd. Full disclosure, recording this Thursday, July 18th, the last day of the All-Star break as teams kick back into action tomorrow on Friday. As always, use our Yahoo roster percentages as our talking point, trying to keep it to players available in 50% or more of Yahoo leagues. And we'll start on the offensive side of things in no particular order. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of these hitters this week are flawed. But the one flaw they don't have is that they are power. The power plays. Now, along with that power comes low on-base percentages, high strikeout rates, and thus lower OPSs than what we like to. But if you're looking at your standings here over the All-Star break and evaluating where you are as a team, and power is the need, this might be the play this week. These players are available. And we start in Colorado with Michael Toglia. First base outfield eligible, playing mostly first base for Colorado, hitting 7th or 8th in their lineup. He's rostered in 15% of Yahoo leagues, makes him 85% available. Now, on this season, he's only hitting 197, and his on-base percentage is only 260. Those are awful numbers. Let's just acknowledge that. However, over the last 14 days, the batting average has been better. It's 243. And over those 14 days, he's hit 7 home runs and driven in 9 RBIs. He's up to 16 home runs on the season. Very Max Muncy-esque when you talk about the power production with those 16 home runs at the break. He's on pace for about 25 to 30 home runs on the season. He's got 34 RBIs on the year with 27 runs scored. His OPS is acceptable at 763. Now, he does strike out a ton, 31% of the times, and he's hit under 200 in cups of coffee at the major league level before this season. He'll continue to get at-bats for Colorado the rest of the way as they try to figure out what they have with some of their young players. So right now, if you're looking for power, Michael Toglia is providing it. Not much else. No speed, no batting average, but the power does play. Up second, Oakland Athletics rookie outfielder Lawrence Butler is scorching hot over the last 14 days. He's got 9 home runs on the season. 6 of those 9 are over the last 14 days. And over those 14 days, he is hitting .303, which has risen his season-long batting average up to .211. Again, another lower on-base percentage guy at only .280 on the season and about a 30% K rate, 29.5% to be precise. Now, the difference between Lawrence Butler and Michael Toglia, Lawrence Butler, a rookie, will sit against the tough left-handed pitcher for Oakland, so you got to check the matchups for the week. But Butler does provide some stolen base potential with 6 home runs on the year to go with his 6 stolen bases to go with his 9 home runs on the season. He's kind of been all over the Oakland batting order, 6'7". He's batted first recently. So Lawrence Butler, rostered in 19% of leagues, makes him available in 81% of Yahoo formats. At number 3, the veteran of the group, Eugenio Suarez of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Same profile of some of these players, except he's 33 years old. He's up to 10 home runs on the season with 48 RBIs, batting 7th in that Diamondbacks batting order. Now, 2 years ago, he had 87 RBIs with 30-plus home runs. Last season, he was in the high 20s in home runs and had over 90 RBIs. He's a proven run producer who also carries a higher strikeout rate and a lower batting average. On the season, Eugenio Suarez is hitting .216 while striking out 28.9% of the time. He is hot over the last 14 days with a .308 batting average and 4 of his 10 home runs on the season. 668 OPS ties in to the low on-base percentage of only .302. He's rostered in 30% of Yahoo leagues, available in 70% if you need a third baseman or corner infielder. Up next, another outfielder to be mindful of is Jesus Sanchez of the Miami Marlins. Only 4% rostered, which is a surprise for me that it's that low. Available in 96% of leagues. Again, a left-handed hitter, so he sits against some tough lefties. On the season, he's got the best batting average of the group, right? He's batting .245 on the season, 11 home runs, 37 RBIs, 28 runs scored, and 6 stolen bases. You can make a case that he's the top out of all of these players. OPS sits at 718, and the strikeout rate is the lowest of anybody I've mentioned today, 24%. hitting 5th or 6th when in the lineup for the Miami Marlins. Over the last 14 days, he is hitting .290 with 3 homers, 6 RBIs, and 5 runs scored. Now, my final player, if you don't need outfield but you need middle infield help, look at Oakland once again at one of their other rookies, and Max Schumann. 16% rostered, 84% available. Second base, shortstop, thus middle infield, and outfield eligible is the rookie. Highest on-base percentage of the group here today with a .339 OPS on-base percentage for the season. Batting .245, 5 homers, 9 stolen bases. Gives you speed, a little bit of pop, and a better on-base percentage. He's got 36 runs scored on the season. Over the last 14 days, he is hitting .344 with 3 of his 9 stolen bases. Hits 9th in that Oakland batting order, so he's a table setter at the bottom of the lineup, striking out 26% of the time. Now, if you're looking for pitchers, there's a couple of names I want to mention, veteran names, names you recognize, who will be coming back from injury shortly. They're highly rostered, but I recommend you checking anyway in your particular league. 2 names to mention. If you need relief help, take a look at Devin Williams of Milwaukee, who's going to be returning from his preseason back injury. He is rostered in 68% of Yahoo leagues, but you never know. Same goes with Kodai Senga of the Mets. 72% rostered, so not readily available, but in shallower leagues, they may be available. That leads me to a third pitcher coming off of injury who is more available, and that's Jeffrey Springs of the Tampa Bay Rays, who's wrapping up his rehab assignment, and he's 33% rostered in Yahoo formats, makes him 67% available. Now, last season in 2023, in only 16 innings pitched, he averaged 13.5 strikeouts per 9 and had an ERA of 0.56. After those 16 innings, that's when he got injured, hurt the elbow, was out for the year in the first half of this year. In 2022, when he pitched about I think it was 135 innings, he had a 9.6 Ks per 9 and an ERA of 2.46. Of all the pitchers coming from injury, he can have a nice impact in the second half now that he is healthy. Now, other pitchers who are available, and a couple of them with 2 start weeks coming up. Spencer Schwellenbach of the Atlanta Braves. 24% rostered, 76% available. Over the last 2 weeks, 9 strikeouts in 13 innings pitched, 6.2 Ks per 9. Now, on the season, he does have 8.3 strikeouts per 9 innings, with 41 strikeouts in 44 and 2/3 innings pitched. ERA on the season is 4.43. Over those last 13 innings, though, it's 1.38, and the whip is 0.85. A 2-star week coming up. Tuesday, July 23rd against the Cincinnati Reds, and then Sunday, the 28th of July, against the New York Mets. Up second, the veteran Andrew Heaney of the Texas Rangers. 24% rostered as well, 76% available. On the season, 97 strikeouts in 95 innings pitched. Just over 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. Better of late in his last 2 starts, 10 1/3 innings, 12 strikeouts, 10.5 Ks per 9. And in those 10 1/3 innings, he's got an ERA of 1.74, significantly lower than his ERA of 3.79 on the season. Batting average against for Heaney sits at 246. He does have 3 wins on the season, but 2 starts coming up, and they're 2 starts I like. Tuesday the 23rd against the Chicago White Sox. Sunday the 28th against the Toronto Blue Jays. And my final starting pitcher of the week, I keep going back to him. I can't give him up, but Spencer Arringhetti of the Houston Astros. And I know I've mentioned him before when he's riding hot, and then as soon as I mention him, he seems to tank his next start. I'm well aware of it. But again, he's on a hot streak, and the strikeout rate continues to tantalize. He's 7% rostered, 93% available. 13 strikeouts in his last 11 innings pitched, with an ERA of 2.45 and a whip of 1.27. On the season, even though the ERA is over 5 at 5.63, the strikeouts continue to catch my eye, I guess. With 93 strikeouts in 80 innings pitched, it's 10.5 Ks per 9 innings. He does have 4 wins. Now, this week, he's only scheduled for 1 start, Monday the 22nd, against Oakland. Now, the question becomes, who loses their spot in the rotation with Justin Verlander coming back? It potentially could be Arringhetti if he struggles against Oakland, but it is a nice matchup against the Oakland A's if you're looking for a streaming option. And finally, with the trade deadline looming, Miami Marlins have one of the most sought-after trade potential relief pitchers on the market in Tanner Scott. If that were to happen, there's a good chance A.J. Puck would be elevated to the Marlins closer role if he's not traded himself. Now, A.J. Puck started the season in the rotation for the Marlins, and it was an unmitigated disaster. And was injured, came back, but he has been one of the best relievers in baseball over the last month at the very least. Over the last month, 18 strikeouts in 12 2/3 innings with an ERA of 0 and a whip of 0.39. Smaller sample over the last 2 weeks, 8 strikeouts in 5 innings pitched. Again, that ERA of 0 and that whip even lower of 0.20. He has been completely unhittable in the bullpen role for the Miami Marlins. Can be the closer of the future there for Miami if they decide to move Tanner Scott. Act now. If you have Tanner Scott and you're using him for saves and you don't know where he's going to end up, A.J. Puck would be a nice addition right now to kind of handcuff or back up that closer, or potentially add a second closer or a third closer to your roster with A.J. Puck. So to recap, my top hitters to add for Week 18 of the fantasy baseball season: Michael Toglia, Colorado Rockies; Lawrence Butler of the Oakland Athletics; Eugenio Suarez, Arizona Diamondbacks; Jesus Sanchez of the Miami Marlins; and Max Schumann of the Oakland A's. My top pitchers to add: Jeffrey Springs of the Tampa Bay Rays; Spencer Schwellenbach of the Atlanta Braves; Andrew Heaney, Texas Rangers; Spencer Arringhetti of the Houston Astros; and relief pitcher A.J. Puck of the Miami Marlins. As always, everybody, head over to rotoballer.com. Sign up now for any of the premium packages. Use the promotional code ACES to save at checkout. Whether it's the second half of baseball season, your upcoming fantasy football season, NASCAR, PGA, sports betting, DFS, season-long formats, whatever you're looking for, rotoballer.com has you covered. Make sure you like and subscribe right here to the RotoBaller YouTube channel. Download the app. It's free. Take advantage of that. And give me a follow on Twitter at Aniano Fantasy. As always, everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here on RotoBaller Radio.